everyone, it's Joe Zieja. Thanks for coming to my stream. Now that we've left Fire Emblem behind for the time being, we're going to be going through a couple of different shows that I've come up with. Today's is going to be called Click and Shtick. Click and Shtick came from a Let's Play series that I did a long time ago on YouTube that never went anywhere, but basically it's devoted to the awesomeness that is point-and-click adventures. We're going to be focusing on classic point-and-click adventures from companies like Sierra and LucasArts and all those great companies that made great games like Quest for Glory and King's Quest, Toonstruck, Gabriel Knight. Those were some of my absolute favorite games growing up, and I am excited to experience them again and celebrate them with you all. You guys know the rules. Backseat gaming is totally allowed, but don't be upset if I don't take your suggestions. Be nice to each other, be nice to the mods, because man, they do a lot of great work for our community. And in general, just don't be a crappy person. If you're new to this stream, I encourage you to subscribe so you can get in our private Discord channel. Our Discord is where all the fun stuff happens. We have a great community filled with absolutely fantastic people that love each other, are kind to each other, and in general just are unmitigated chaos for most of every day. That's it for the intro. I hope you have a great time today exploring some amazing point-and-click adventures with me. Let's go. All right, solid chance the camera's gonna be messed up. Let's see. No, it works. Fantastic. Look at that. Look at that. Utterly unexpected success with the camera. Hi, everyone. How are you? It's me, your friend Joe Zieja, here to click and shtick with you all. I hope you had an excellent weekend. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday afternoon. What's up, Irene and Elgato and Orange Lena and Strike Me Down and Exelian and Jules and Game and Kawaii Music and Sakajuwaka Hina Puff, Zapdets Air Gaming and then Panda Cloud and Spoopy Bird Buddy and Lady Venoran, Lev Potato Maki Rose, Akia Chan. Soft Guitar just gifted a bunch of subs. Holy crap, that makes it really difficult for me to... You guys can't give subs while I'm in the middle of doing this roll. It doesn't make any sense. What's up, Marty McFly? Tish Tish, Destiny Road, Okalord, Mira Mira, Jules Box, Hero, I already talked to you. Man, Link Junk, Excellion Lost in Wisdom, Alicia White, Ninja Jess, what's going on? Raimi and Robin Battles and Earthbound and Sweet Banana Gaming and Super Cream Puff and Strike Me Down. I think I talked to you already. Game Girl Dancer, what's up? Welcome. Amy Lee and Neural and Zeddy and Jen Mac and everybody, thank you for coming to the stream. Under Catherine feels ignored. I don't know why. Do I not know? I normally say I yell people's names out. Corey, welcome to the Schmoes. Thank you for your subscription. I've been told, so I don't. Again, I'm a streamer, so I don't really know these things. But I'm being told by my mods that like September is 30% off resub month. So if you wanted to resub, now's the time to do it. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I don't really know. So I am a pee pee poo poo streamer. I am Mikey. The pee pee poo poo video may have been... I think I've peaked. I think I've peaked as a streamer, and it's only gonna go downhill from here. And I never really understood that expression. So like, you know, like when things go downhill from here, you have to assume it's easier, right? Because going downhill is easier, but it's also like worse because down is generally considered bad. So I don't really know what it means when I say it's all downhill from here, whether it means we're gonna coast or if it's gonna be bad. Ben Lepley is going to join me today because I found out that he is a Quest for Glory fan, which is cool. Most of the time when I say the phrase Quest for Glory, people are like, what? And Ben was really excited. He's like, dude, are you playing Quest for Glory 4 on stream right now? Because it's my favorite game ever. That's not how he sounds. But so I'll be having him jump on the stream today at about 4:45. He got out of work, and so he's gonna come home and he'll join us right before halftime. So for halftime this time, I don't know, maybe I'll spring random voice. Should I spring random voice on him, or should we just do a Q&A? I'll tell you what, I'll let you guys vote. Mods, you could start a poll. Like, we might as well do this now, and then you can collect the correct information for halftime. Whether or not I need to spring random voice on him or do a Q&A, because we won't have time for both. I will have to leave like pretty much right at 6 tonight. So yeah, mods, run that poll and we'll figure it out later. Another thing that I wanted to tell you guys about Quest for Glory is we had some problems last time because we lost everything and I had to start again and I couldn't import Butgang Schmozart from Quest for Glory 3. But some hex editing and some hacking allowed me to kind of reconfigure the character chart. So now we have all of our skills kind of up to where we should be, which is coming into the game at full 300s for everything. So we'll actually be able to do things rather than get stuck inside Nikolai's house for an hour because we can't pick a lock because we're stupid. We're not stupid anymore. So Butgang lives again. I had to like restart the game again, but I played it on my own so that you guys could have a good experience today by the laws of black magic for sure. Where's my hydration? I drank water, so I'm assuming it's crunchy and terrible. I am indeed glitch YouTube videos. Would you guys want to see me play Rogue Company again? Was that fun? I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun game to play. Okay, cool. Well, that's good to know. Smooth like flowing water. Like flowing water. I can't wait to see what the... Okay. Schmoj Company. I'll be completely honest with you. I slept like absolute garbage last night. And I just took a nap and like I woke up like 5 minutes before I started the stream. So like I feel a little bit like I just got dropped into like I don't know, like I got dropped into like this thick soup fog and like that's my life and I'm like sort of trying to part the fog as I stumble through. It was a power nap, but it like I went deep in that power nap, man. It was like I closed my eyes and suddenly I'm on another dimension. So you have to excuse me if I'm a little scatterbrained. Which is, you know, all that. Okay. So, what do you guys say we jump back into where we were before and see how this goes? Which means I'm gonna start collecting some buttons. Yeah, that's the stuff. Come on, I need you to go full screen. I can't play the game when it's only this big. Catch up. All right, so we've got Butt Gang refreshed. We've got a refreshed Butt Gang, and so let's go over a little bit. We're sneaking. Hey, Dimitri. Still you remain.
This town was quiet until you arrived. I am keeping my eye on you.
Now it's full of sh**. All right, so things we did last time. We bought everything we needed at the shop. We talked to Igor. There's a graveyard humor for you there. And then let's see, what else did we do? We went to the Adventurers Guild. We took care of that stuff. We found the thief. We found the chief thief. And then we went into here in the monastery.
This is a bas-relief of a strange creature. It looks like an octopus with only 6 tentacles. You have a creepy feeling as if it is looking right back at you.
It's a hectopus. We dodged the hectopus, got into the monastery, went downstairs, found some literature for the Dark One, but also we found this statue, if you remember, which I believe will let us kind of cure the chief thief. So why don't we do that, and then maybe tonight we can go burglarizing. What time is it? I see it's only day 1. When I did everything super fast when I wasn't with you guys. No, I'm not saying you slow me down, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you guys are a burden to me or my game playing. I had just as much fun playing the game slowly with you as I did quickly without you. And I only played the game quickly without you. I only did it once, and I only did it so that we could have these stats. So we'll take a look at the stats that we're at right now as well. You see everything is a solid 300. I got a couple of 400s in there that I could, but the game gets kind of mad because you're not supposed to start the game with 400. You're only supposed to start with 300 max. So there's a couple that I can modify, and then the rest of it seemed to get like that kind of thing. Just that's the noise that I think everybody makes when they're not really totally sure of something. Like, do you like this soup? Right? That's pretty much it. This needs to be on much higher because it is hot as in here. I have people working on my air conditioning outside. So if you hear sudden banging, it's not because I'm being burgled. All right, random voices. Ben has no idea what he's gonna get into, so there we go. So yeah, look, we're pretty swole. Butt Gang Schmozar is pretty swole right now. I don't think we're gonna have any problems with anything in this game. Now, we've got the statue. We cleared everything out here. Let's give the statue to the Chief Thief. And we'll say goodbye to Mr. Roach. Are you guys ready to say goodbye to Mr. Roach? I know you love him. I know you want to snuggle him. Let's go get a close-up of him one more time. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It would be a shame to lose you so soon. The best places to steal from are the most dangerous. I do not think you are ready just yet.
You're not ready just yet, eh? Senor, si, senor.
Okay. We'll change him back. Here we go. And Alakapocus.
Wonderful, wonderful. I won't have to scuttle in the shadows all the time. I won't have to have unsavory eating practices. Thank you so very much.
There's the Chief Thief. Looking pretty good, Chief. Tell about the monastery break-in. Here, I'll tell you what we did.
You did very well indeed. I can tell that you will someday.
See, I knew you guys are gonna miss him as the Roach.
yourself.
I think he's great as the Roach. Tell the Chief to be careful.
All right. I know I was getting careless.
He's got some
I am
knobby
going to
elbows.
make certain no one ever touches that statue again. At least not by accident.
Like, I think he could if you got like a mortar and pestle, I think he could just grind powders with his. I'm not gonna kill him. Say you're welcome.
You have such nice manners. Are you certain you want to hang around tough, brutal scum of the earth who will try to beat you up at the slightest excuse? Or is that your idea of a good time?
Hey, don't kink shame me. Wait, what if I make the thief sign now?
Feeling like an idiot.
Well, of course you're...
Okay, we did that already. We did that last time. Okay, let's talk to the Chief.
I am all right, I guess. But I'm having a difficult time adjusting to walking on two legs again. Other than the fact that
All right. We talked about this. What about the thief's jobs?
there is a secret passage.
Oh, now he gets to tell me that. Okay.
From the Boyar's crypt in the graveyard. There is a special way to open this secret door. It's something involving colors and the Borgov family crest, I think.
So now we have a way into the
You must be
castle.
very
We haven't
careful.
even
I know
explored
nothing
anything
of
outside the
people who
town
now
yet.
live in the castle. Only that the last thieves to break in
Never return. They never return. Idiot!
Okay, so I actually thought we would get more out of this, but I guess we didn't. So, you buy, I guess. We got some game points, and that's it. Now, one thing I am going to go back and do, because I'm pretty sure I have the climbing skill for it. One of the things that we missed inside the monastery. What gang refreshed? We can climb up the outside.
Find a good spot.
I like the depth. It's kind of strange here. Just like he gets smaller as he climbs up. So it means the monastery is like this way. I don't know. All right, so the music here is so loud. Now that we have some climbing skill, Ben's gonna join us on video. I'm gonna send him a Zoom, and then I'll put him in through Zoom. What's going on with toothpaste? I'm looking at the game for 3 minutes and I come back and everything is about fucking toothpaste? Come on, guys. Yeah, Peter Lorre, that's who he sounded like. Yeah, Ben's gonna be on video. So now, what we have up here is that raven, right? You can't really see it because it's quite pixelated. Can we get up there with the Raven? Let's see. We should have plenty of climbing skill now. Plenty. Plenty. It probably does. No, it probably doesn't mean an appearance of Purple Joe. Purple Joe happens when I do it through Discord. So I got the bird. I got the bird, you guys. It's a bird. It's a car. Is it young Akar or is it old Akar? This looks like young Akar. Ooh, this looks like naked young Akar. This is basically naked young Akar. He's got no robes. He's got no hat. And he's like, hello, ladies. Psycho Q's balls. Or someone else's. That's what he's doing right now. So let's take a look at the, let's take a look at the Blackbird. Weighs 30 quarks. This sculpture of a black falcon brings back memories of your wonderful vacation in Rasir. Wasn't there one in Spielberg too? And one in the Bazaar in Tarna? Too bad this is just a cheap plaster imitation. Oh no. Still don't have the real Blackbird.
Nevermore.
Very nice. So this is the fake. Another fake. Maybe we'll find it in Quest for Glory 5! Let's climb the window again. And we'll get out of here. I don't believe there's anything left to do in here. That little shriveled up thing over there, we need the rehydration solution for, and that's not available to us yet. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Okay, now we'll just take a nap here at Irana's staff circle. I can't click appropriately. Now, we could spend some time since we did everything so fast. We can't even rob anybody yet because it's broad daylight. So we can go explore some things on the outside. The game isn't like super clear what you're supposed to be doing right now. I love it. What a throwback. Do you guys feel nostalgia right now? This throws back to like the first Quest for Glory. When you walk out of the town for the first time, it gives you the little, like, you are ready to go. You're ready to go. One thing, just not to, that's not really a spoiler, but once we get to Quest for Glory 5, it's so interesting because the leap between Quest for Glory 4 and 5 is so great in terms of technology. When did Quest for Glory 5 coming out? So this game we determined came out in 1993. Quest for Glory 5 release date. It's certainly not 1998. So, like, obviously a lot of crazy stuff happened technologically between 93 and 98. And 98 still sounds ancient. But the music in Quest for Glory 5 is so good. And it is also voiced. But for whatever reason, they didn't voice the narrator. And I thought that was a strange move because considering how incredible the narrator was and how much he added to this game in Quest for Glory 4, Quest for Glory 5 does not have a narrator voice, which was really disappointing, I remember, because I loved it so much. So let's explore a little bit. I don't recall a lot of what, I mean, the format is still the same. It's just a grid, right? But I don't really recall a lot of what is around here. I think this is the graveyard. Let's go check out the graveyard. And just like...
The majestic mountains in the background provide a beautiful contrast to the grim gravestones and crypts of the cemetery.
Oh, God.
The inscription on...
Now, this is basically the pun graveyard, okay? So if you're triggered by puns, you may need to pause the stream for a few minutes, okay? Because we're gonna read all these tombstones.
This gravestone is marked No effort could Elissa save. She passed into a watery grave. Her body was lost, only her memory remains.
Okay, except that one. I guess. That one has to do with the plot of the game. Shut up! What about this one?
Here lies Janos.
Ah, this is also a serious
faithful
one.
forever to his lost true love, laid beside her empty grave.
Alright, so I was wrong about two of them. These two graves over here are plot-centered. Let's look at the other graves.
An inscription on the door says, House of Zieja Poe. May she rest forever.
Zieja Poe? Not well liked. Not well liked in her life.
The inscription on this headstone reads, Michael Med bumped his head in another man's bed. Now he's dead. Rest in peace.
Sounds like Michael Med was, messing around with somebody else's wife, if you know what I mean.
This headstone reads, On a dare, Pasha Sperry spent the night in the cemetery. Something gave him such a fright that now he sleeps here every night.
Ooh, ghost stories. I think you can open this. Hang on.
Great Scott, that rotting corpse sure gave you a fright. Fortunately, it was just a dead body, not some sort of horrible undead creature. Those only come out at night.
Couple of things I want to talk about here. Just like a couple of things. Number one. Who put a doorknob on the mausoleum? Okay? Who made it so that you could open the door like it was just like you're walking into a f***ing kitchen? All right? Number two. Who buried the person standing up? Who was like, yeah, I think this mausoleum, even though it's like 9 feet deep, we're gonna prop this body straight up so that as soon as I open the door, it just kind of pops out. Was that person's request when it was time for, like, is that, because that's something I would do. I could say that, like, okay, here's on my last will and testament, when I die, I need you to stand me up so that anytime anybody opens my grave, I just whoop. And second of all, or third of all, like, what's in the rest of the crypt? Why? So the crypt is like, let's say proportionally, it's like this, it's this long, and the body is about this big right at the front of it. What's the rest? Is it just, is there a party in there? Like that.
Great Scott, that rotting corpse.
None of it makes any sense. I need to talk to the person who... Anyway, here's another tombstone.
Arkan Tenor walked at night. Arkan saw his final sight. Now the question seems to be, what in the world did Tenor see?
I don't know what he saw.
Here lies...
I think that may have been my favorite pun I've ever made. Now, like, I'm mad at myself for that one.
Here lies the spirit of Barney Blue. To his lover was untrue. So she knew just what to do. Fixed herself some Barney stew.
Wow. Everyone's like, how do I unsub?
Here lies the body of Carrie Nation, who answered a vampire's invitation.
You guys did get that I
Now
made a
this
pun
calls for
afterwards about
lamentation.
Idaho, right?
It was a fatal recreation.
Anyway. I want to hear that one again.
Here lies the body of Carrie Nation, who answered
guys are
a
just ignoring it.
vampire's invitation. Now there's cause for lamentation. It was a fatal recreation.
It sounds like that. Is it a 311 song where every rhyme ends in that? Like recreation, demolition. That's lost lines from that song. It can't be 311, is it? What else are we missing?
Arkan.
No, we got this.
2 spare coffins await their customers here. Apparently Igor has finally managed to get ahead of business. You don't. A heavy stone door seals off the Borgov family crypt. A relief carving on the door shows the crest of the House of Borgov.
What's this? Okay, let's listen to the door.
It is deathly silent beyond the door.
So the chief, I'm not ready to go to the castle yet. We're definitely not going to go to the castle, but I will check out the door.
You examine the door closely. It's massive and well made. A large lock secures the door. Above the door is an intricate crest with the single word, Borgov, above it.
See, now, obviously, whoever designed this crypt here did not design this crypt, because this crypt you could just turn a doorknob and things will fall on you. This one here, apparently, can I pick the lock?
All right. You hear a sharp snick as your lockpicks catch the tumblers just right. The crypt door opens.
Ah, there we go. We're in the crypt. That was easy.
You are in a dark, dank crypt, filled with bas-relief figures of long-departed knights and statues of the Grim Reaper. Stairs lead back up to the entrance. A brightly colored copy of the Borgov crest adorns part of the floor.
Okay, we're not ready for this yet, guys. We're not ready.
The door will not budge.
Oh, I'm stuck in the crypt. How do we do it?
You see a coffin cover.
A knight?
You see a
knight?
Oh, such a cheery sight. It's a statue of the Grim Reaper. It's a figure of the Grim Reaper, harbinger of death.
Greet the Reaper. All right, let's shake his hand.
As you shake hands with the Grim Reaper statue, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
All right, now we're out of here. Hey, Igor's here. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? Is that a new tombstone? It wasn't there. Hey.
You greet Igor. Igor looks up at you.
This cemetery. This where dead people buried. Igor buried them.
Oh, thanks. For letting me know. How you doing, buddy?
Igor, you weird stranger. Grave, hole in ground. Put person in when dead.
I love that Igor treats you like an idiot. I love that he treats you like an idiot.
Well, technically only large one crypt. Crypt of Borgov's. Smaller building tomb. Not certain what distinction myself. Oh, Igor got key to crypt. Igor keep key to crypt. No disturb crypt. Not nice.
That's okay. What's this new tombstone?
This headstone does not have an epitaph. Yet. How about that old one? Death is just nature's way of telling you to slow down.
Well, we're done with this here. No, go back to sneaking. I need you to boost your stealth here, buddy. Let's stealth around. Give me some stealthy stealth. Can we go this way? Oh, the leashy! Alright, this is a little puzzle, so we gotta go find the things that are... this one. Oh, we got him! Okay, now... do we have the answer yet? I know the answer.
Reading, writing, riddling game. Can you tell me what's my name?
Is it Rumpelstiltskin? So alright, so since we read all the books, which talked about myths and legends in the area, we know that it's not Rumpelstiltskin. It is indeed, Lepley. But making a wild guess is kind of fun, so let's make a wild guess.
You take a wild guess. Your name is Cedric.
Oh, and then the bushes go away. We can come back, and we'll look at him again.
Leashy.
As soon as we leave and come back, he comes back.
Gotcha.
All right. It's Leashy.
Tell the creature it's called the Leashy.
Ah, that's the price of too much.
He's got a bird in his head.
Now you've gone and guessed my name.
He's got a bird brain. And there he is.
Leashy, look and see. In a bush or up a tree. Leashy, riddle rhyme. Can you solve them every time?
So do I get to talk to... what would... Oh, you have to come back and talk to him several times. He'll give you a riddle each time, and then eventually you'll get to the end of it. Is this the gypsy camp? Where are we? This is it.
Colourful wagons surround the fire pit in this authentic Moldavian gypsy camp. You've heard that gypsies like to keep to themselves, but surely they won't mind just one visitor.
I do understand that gypsy is not the appropriate term, and the appropriate term is Romani or many other terms, but I didn't write the game, so I apologize. Normally, Quest for Glory actually does a really good job of keeping things culturally
Go away. We
good.
allow no strangers
In this case, they
our
missed the mark a
camp.
little.
Leave immediately.
Okay, bye. We're not ready for their camp yet. Yeah, it does look like Gaston, doesn't he? And there are puppos. There are puppies.
You don't have any rations. You better get some food soon.
Where are my rations at? Oh, I used it to catch the I used it to catch the Antwerp. That's not how he really walks, so he's sneaking, right? I have stealth on. You can walk in 3 different ways. You can walk, run, or stealth. And in this case, in order to build up the stealth, I just use it all the time. So, oh, let's Alicia again.
You grab a hand.
Oh, I don't want to throw rocks at Alicia.
There he is.
2 and 2 and 2 make 6. A little bush is in a fix. If you save a plant from goo, I can help you with a clue.
Where did we see a plant that was in goo? Because we have the equipment to do it now. Where did we see a plant that had goo in it? We need to bring Lishi the plant. Oh, we're gonna get in a fight. Oh, a Necrotar. Bring it. Bring it, Tor. Ow. Take this fire. Oh. Ow. Ow. God, it hurts. Ow. What is S? Oh, stop, stop, stop. No, don't do S. Stop. You're gonna throw it. Why does, like, S?
Searching for the fallen beast, you find nothing of value. Unless you were planning to start a flea circus.
Ah, very funny. What about my daggers that I just threw? Do I have 11. That's fine. Well, that was an adventure. I'll need some rations from Olga. Hopefully the shop is still open. Anyway, do you remember, guys, where there was a plant in goo?
The general.
Oh, it's closed for the evening. Okay. I'll go get some food at the Donald door.
You hear. After a few minutes, you hear someone removing the bar and unlocking.
It was all the way at the very, very beginning at the Dark One's cavern. Yep, at the very, very beginning of the game. You guys remember? We already. Yeah. Okay. Just.
You get a fine meal of roast duckling a la garlic.
Sarek, I get the feeling that you've played this game just about as many times as I have. All right, so we've eaten some food. We can leave.
You've never seen so many locks and bars on a door. You can't find any way to open it.
It is very dangerous in Mordavia at night. We always keep things locked up when it gets dark. I will let you out for now. If you wish to return later this evening, just knock on the door. If you do not make it back by the closing of
We did.
the
We've talked to them before. I don't think they don't say anything different now. We've kind of exhausted their conversation options for the time being, but we will certainly be talking to them again.
In lovely Mordavia.
Well, I wouldn't call it lovely. It's a shithole. Yeah! Super shithole. They're great. They're fantastic. I think that's the first time I've ever tried to do it in impressions of them. Okay, so it's now in the evening. Let's save, and maybe we can burgle the Burgomeister. It's probably a little early. Like, you don't go breaking into someone's house at like 5 o'clock when the sun's coming down in the winter.
Attempt to pick the lock.
He's probably waiting in the... Oh no. Is he sleeping?
The desk is locked.
Of course the desk is locked. Alright,
Jackpot.
so...
You open the drawer and find a large key, 7 crowns and 15 kopecks. You put the key on your keyring and the money in your coin purse.
Anything else in here?
The desk... You don't dare take the shield. The spears are too boring. Boring to be worth taking. Besides, they're nailed to the wall.
So the first time we are stealing anything, we're just gonna go straight to the sheriff's office. Let's open the sheriff's door. Let's open the Burgomeister's door and get arrested. Let's listen to the door.
You hear occasional tossing and turning sounds from the Burgomeister's bed. He sounds as if he's mostly asleep, though.
Let's do it. We're gonna open the door. Oh, of all the buildings and all the little towns, you had to pick this one to rob. Choose your victims carefully. Alright. So we'll do it this way. Click, 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 click.
You attempt to pick the lock on the...
Yeah, I missed the animations from Quest for Glory 1 when you would
Jackpot.
a thieving expedition and like the ogre came out in his like nightgown, hit you with a pillow.
Lock the window behind you to avoid arousing suspicion.
Great. Great. Do you want to go rob the old man because we have no morals? I think we might as well.
That didn't
do anything.
This isn't a good time to approach the house window.
Why? What if I rest for another half hour?
After...
Save again.
You carefully open the window and enter the darkened upstairs bedroom.
All right, here we go. Bringing a torch. Bringing the torch right into the person's house you're robbing. It's great because you can set things on fire and it's incredibly bright, so absolutely everyone in the entire universe can see that you're inside this person's house at night, walking around with a torch. That's the way that I want to rob things. That's what I do. The first thing I do if I'm robbing a house, I turn on all the lights. Turn the TVs on. If I bring a pair of crash cymbals, it's bang, first thing when I walk in the door. You gotta make sure everybody knows. That's big brain move here. Now, it's 4:41. Let me look and see if Ben got in touch with me. I want to make sure I don't miss him. Because I know, let's say text when ready. I'll let him know. I'll take this moment. Take a drink of water. Okay. Last time we let's oil the hinges.
Carefully oil the hinges on the wardrobe doors to prevent telltale squeaks.
Can I oil the chest?
That didn't do it.
Can I oil Nikolai?
That didn't do anything. The old man seems to be having a restless night. Every few minutes he shifts position in the bed. Occasionally you can hear him mutter, "Anna," in his sleep.
What if I turn on his lamp?
You don't really need to do anything with the oil lamp.
Okay.
In the pocket of one of the pairs of pants in here, you'll find some money. You add 20 kopecks and 1 crown to your purse.
All right, nothing like taking $1.20 from an old guy's pair of pants.
You search around in the wardrobe, but the only thing loose and portable is a garlic clove that has come loose from the garlic braid you see in here.
Can I eat the garlic clove?
You bite off a bit of one of the garlic cloves. Watch out, werewolves. Not to mention dates.
All right, let's take a look at the chest. I think we probably have the requisite skill to open it.
Searching the nightstand, you find a small gold locket on a chain. It says "Love" on the outside in well-worn lettering. Inside, you see the tiny paintings of two faces. One of the faces is of a good-looking young man. A glance at the old man's face and a little imagination shows that it's probably his portrait from when he was younger. The other face is of a young and lovely woman. This picture is marred by a spot where some liquid has dripped upon it.
Oh, that's
Close
so
it and
sad,
put it
you
in your
guys.
backpack.
That's so sad. That probably means so much to him, and it is of zero value to us as thieves. So let's take it. Here it is. We're just gonna go ahead and take it now. Anything else in here?
Looking, you hear a distinct. The old man's.
Oh, I should be sneaking, that's why. I'm not putting it back. That's mine now. I took it. It belongs to me.
It looks pretty much as you.
What's in here? No, stop it!
It does. It's an attractive, but not particularly.
Music box. That's what we know we have to do every time that we...
Anna, is that you? Oh, Anna, how you love that music box I gave you. Anna, how I love you.
This is the most depressing burglary
You are gone,
I've ever been on.
and I am alone. An old man dreaming foolish dreams. Anna.
You hear the sound of
Wow.
the old man falling back asleep.
So that's interesting because when he's outside during the day, he has no idea that Anna is dead. But you played the music box and he snapped back to, just for a second there was a moment of clarity.
It doesn't.
And if I
doesn't
hadn't
bug.
broken into his house, he wouldn't have had it. So it's my
doesn't
fault
bug.
that he had a moment of clarity. We're the good guys, okay? We are the good guys. I am not a horrible human being. He wouldn't have had that moment of clarity without us. Have a heart, I do. I put it in my pocket. Oh!
What? Who is that?
Oh, we f***ed up. I forgot to, damn it. Now we have to steal all of it all over again.
You can't.
All right. Let's actually start from downstairs and we'll pick up the other stuff as we go. Are we sneaking? Make sure you sneak. Come down here. Okay, let's get the oil out and make sure we oil everything.
You slick down your
Not my hair.
Greasing squeaks is always a prudent idea. That didn't do it. That didn't do it.
I mean, it didn't do anything useful.
You find a small bottle of healing potion, which you take. You
A large book.
It's a diary.
Oh, it's a diary.
The
Okay.
author was working in Castle Borgov when the Boyar was still around, and mentions a secret passage in the Boyar's crypt. Interesting.
Okay, Ben's ready, so I'm gonna go get him. You know what? I was gonna go to BRB, but I want you guys to experience the awkwardness, with me as we do this. So we're gonna go into the Zoom meeting. We'll do this. We will admit Ben. Separate this into a new thing. We'll do this. And I want this to come through. Let's do chat. Ben, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
That's a fantastic thing. Okay, we're live. We're just gonna roll with this. I'm gonna see
great.
if I can drag. So you won't be able to see me because OBS is hogging my camera. You could
it's okay.
you could see me if you go to the stream. Actually, you probably should have done this through Discord. Because then I can
it's all right.
maybe show you the screen. Well, no, it's gonna be crappy because. Like, hang on. Can I?
Is this the punishment for stealing the locket?
This is.
This is cosmic karma coming in and punishing us
is.
already. Oh, there it is. Ooh, I can see that screen.
Oh, great! So you can see the screen.
Yeah.
Exactly what I wanted.
Okay,
That way
this is perfect.
there's no like weird delay. And now I'll bring you in to this here, and we're going. No. Now the game is gone.
Oh boy. I'll pantomime what I think is happening in the game. so you can play blind, and I'll just react in real time.
Now everyone can see. Everyone can see my Discord. What's going on here? All right, I'm just gonna do a new one. New window capture. For
as we figure this out, hey.
Yeah, it's just
There
gonna be
it
you
is.
now, I guess. There you go. We'll pop you in like down here. That's good. And now I have to get the game back. Was this it? No, that's you.
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
I actually am still recovering from Dudu's birthday yesterday. It
Ooh.
was wild. So many spices. So much brooding.
All right, let's bring that open here. Now, why doesn't it let me? Short. Okay,
Hey.
for some reason it's back now. I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. This is perfect.
This is perfect.
I hope there's nothing in that bottom corner that we need.
Well, I could see
By
it.
the way,
There we go.
I come bearing gifts.
Oh
This is-
shit, dude! Wait,
This
do
is
I have
the,
mine? I have to go. Yeah,
Dragon Fire
entertain them,
soundtrack.
Ben. I have to see if I can find mine.
This, my friends, is the Dragonfire soundtrack. It includes a playable demo of Dragonfire, Quest for Glory 5, which actually, Joe, I don't know if you knew this, it had a multiplayer component built in, and I think Sierra just never took the time to figure out what that was actually gonna be. So they just put multiplayer on the box, and you'd click on the button and then like nothing would happen. Also, because I can't help myself with anything Sierra, this is from a thrift shop in Los Angeles, King's Quest 1. Quest for the Crown. This is the EGA version. There was somebody in my neighborhood growing up, I think they were like a software like wholesaler or something, and they would always do
I did not
garage
find it.
sales.
However,
It's there somewhere.
it's there
in the
somewhere.
record.
But I did find several other treasures in my collection. I can't imagine that it's not in here. It's so strange. I have
Have
my
you seen the
King's
art?
Quest collection CDs.
There it is.
That I
You're
have.
just- I don't know if you saw, but I also brought out I found this in an LA thrift shop and was so excited. I have all the original EGA boxes.
Oh
except
my
for this.
god!
Yeah.
That's so
So
cool.
It's like I just there's something about having the box and the original manual, because these DOS boxes used to be so big.
They were huge.
They're so unnecessarily large, and I think it's to showcase the art in a way that it doesn't need to be showcased.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I can't
It's
believe.
always,
Why don't I have it?
it's always the art's always framed with this insane border on these old games too. Like the art actually isn't that big, and I remember this specifically for Quest for Glory 4. There's that really sort of interesting caricature of the hero with
Yeah.
the monster behind him, but it's framed by this giant like purple frame, and the actual art's like this big on this big box. It's so interesting to me.
I
The
love it.
graphic design.
So tell me how you, because I'm just curious, how did you stumble into Quest for Glory? Like, how did you, do you remember how you found the game?
Yeah. So I found 4 at a garage sale. I was just saying I think there was a software wholesaler or something that like lived in my neighborhood, because there were always these garage sales down the street from me where they would have the original games in shrink wrap. And like I wasn't playing this in like '94, but like later after I found it. And they'd just be the original game. I think 4 I originally got on floppy, so it didn't have any of this great narration in it. It was all text.
You know what? I
And
was thinking that because it came out originally in '93, and I'm like, that may be like prior to CD-ROM. It really confused me when I was looking at the original release date.
I think Sierra went through and they added voice to the CD-ROM versions after to try to like extend the lifespan of these, because King's Quest 5 was the same thing. I played that on floppy first. So King's Quest 5 was the first one. I was a real King's Quest boy growing up. And I did Space Quest. Space Quest was my life. For
I don't
like
have Space
2 years.
Quest. I have Police Quest in here, but I don't know, or do I have Space Quest? I probably do.
Space Quest was so funny, and
It was hysterical.
It was that Gary Owens was the narrator in 4 and 6.
I have that. I have my Space Quest collection here.
There it is. Yes, so good. And actually, one of my first jobs in LA was voiceover casting, and Gary Owens called the office I was working at, and I was like, you know, lowest of the low at that point at that company. And I remember I hopped on the phone and I was like, "Excuse me, is this Mr. Owens?" And he was like, "Yes, this is Gary Owens." I was like, "I just want you to know I'm such a big fan of your work in Space Quest 4 and 6." And he was like, "What are you talking about?"
I'm sure he was. He was like, "What kind of?"
Like 1,000 games a year, right? And it was like, but then he remembered, and he was like, "Oh yes, those were fun." But I remember I met Wendy Cutler at a voiceover workshop I did years and years ago, and she I think was the voice of Arana in Quest for Glory 5, and I did the same thing in the hallway. I was like, "Oh, I don't know if you remember, but like, you are the voice of Arana." Like I just totally fanboyed out on her, and she was like, "Oh, cool." So it was probably like a 2-hour session.
Did she remember?
Like,
because I kind of wonder, like, if you walk up to Jim Cummings and you're like, "Hey, you remember Quest for Glory 4?" He's gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" You know? Like,
I do not remember. Yeah, totally. It takes him a minute because I've met every time I see a Sierra voiceover person, I can't help myself. But it always takes them a sec. But if you jog their memory a little bit, they're usually like, right. And it's just like, I've sort of like slowly checked off my bucket list of just like, I go into my diatribe about how much these games meant to me and how like I learned so much about storytelling from these games.
Yeah.
And, you know, and the art, you know, I just like, I really, really, truly grew up on Sierra games specifically.
Yep. I'm actually pretty sure I tried to make the Quest for Glory 1 costume when I was like 10 for Halloween. I think I got the red cape and that was as far as I got.
Dude, I tried to go as King Graham from King Quest as Halloween one year, and nobody knew what it was. Like, I never met people who were into Sierra games when I was growing up. I was like the only one. So I totally have that Halloween experience of just like being in love with these characters and wanting other people to know about them.
I got introduced to it through a friend of mine. I was 7, and I went over his house, and what was he playing? I can't remember what he was playing. It might have been Quest for Glory 1. And like he lent me the discs, and I was hooked from then on. And
yes,
this is like a dumb story. I don't even know why I'm telling it. So like this guy's name was Brandon, and so we lived in New Jersey together. He moved away like 2 years later, and never saw him again. And I'm in after when I went to the Air Force Academy, I was eating dinner at a PF Chang's in the middle of Colorado Springs, right? And I'm wearing my shirt from my wrestling team when I was in high school. And this guy, like my waiter, he's talking to us, he's like, is that Sparta, New Jersey? And I'm like, yeah, it's Sparta, New Jersey. He's like, are you Joe? And I'm like, are you Brandon? It was like the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like this dude that I knew from when I was 7 years old was randomly my waiter in PF Chang's 2,000 miles away, and almost 20 years later. It was like the weirdest thing in the world. And he was my conduit into Quest for Glory.
It's so good.
It was weird.
The Sierra through lines just ripple throughout your life. It was truly meant to be. You're meant to play these.
We're getting tired. We probably should finish this.
We need to rest in this house we're robbing.
Oh crap.
Now you're playing as a magic user thief hybrid, is that
yes,
correct?
And I hacked the character sheet, so everything is pretty much maxed out here. Well, maxed out going into it. So
did you ever do the codes on 1 and 2 on that in the text parser?
Suck blue frog and whatever razzle dazzle root beer? Yeah, we did it on stream.
Straighten out your
nice. I like whenever I do, I try to play through at least the first game like once a year, because I think the first game is so well balanced and it's like the perfect RPG hybrid. And I usually get to 2 and I want to finish it, but then the street system just I don't have the time to navigate.
Did you ever play the remake?
Small gold locket
I downloaded it and I didn't actually started it, but didn't really get around to doing it. Is it good?
I think it's well done. There's part of me that like misses the awfulness that was the navigation.
You have to experience like the true like terror of just trying to wind through those streets in EGA. Like
yeah.
It's part of its
oh crap!
charm.
I screwed it up again.
Were those the AGD guys? Did they remake it?
It was AGD. Did I screw something up there? I don't think I screwed something up there. I have everything I need. I got the locket.
As long as you stole that locket.
Yeah, as long as
you
I
see,
stole
the People are complaining about the locket. They don't understand what a toxic
They don't
relationship
Yeah. A
They're
miserable
all
toxic.
assuming great relationships.
Yeah, we're really liberating Nikolai.
The stone
That's right.
carvings of the dark building.
All right, we
uh,
gotta go to bed. Because I don't think there's anything else I want to do at night here.
How are your rations holding up? That's
I'm
something I
very
always-
hungry. I need to go. Well, I had dinner with Bella. Bella made me dinner. So, I like how he gets into bed like he's climbing the stairs. Let's. Okay.
You awaken as the sun.
There's
begins
something
to
about this game specifically. Like this one is just dripping with mood, like an
It's-
atmosphere. Like
yeah.
they do such a good job with all of them. But like this is probably one of my all-time favorites because I like feel like I'm in Romania when I'm playing this. Like the garlic cloves in the
It's a
foreground, the
typical
way they
country
describe the
breakfast.
food, the
fried
music.
meats and sausage
Like it's
with
just
garlic for
it's such
garnish.
atmosphere.
It's great. I think this is my favorite for a
Yeah.
number of reasons. Like, one is my favorite just because it's the first. But I think objectively, I think this is the best game. Because like they got a lot of like the battle mechanics worked out. They got a lot of other stuff worked out. It wasn't as buggy and weird. Let's see what Yuri is talking about today. Anything interesting?
I do not gossip.
Okay. A little early for smoking a pipe there.
This man was actually named in honor of Yuri Lowenthal. I don't know if you knew that, but a piece of fake trivia that isn't true at all.
I was about to say, like, I'm pretty sure like Yuri Lowenthal was like 10 when this game came out.
Still you remain. It is a wonder
So
you have
I
managed
meant to tell you
to
this
live
too.
so
There was a Sierra magazine. I think it was like their internal thing that they'd release like quarterly to pump their own games. And I found an old one where they interviewed Corey and Lori, and they talked about how the plan with this series was they wanted each one to reflect the season. So Quest for Glory 1 was supposed to encapsulate
Like
spring.
spring.
Yeah, and then Trial by Fire was summer. And
Yeah.
originally this was supposed to be game 3, as you know, from the end screen of 2. And
Right.
This was supposed to be fall, and then the finale was going to be in the winter. I don't know why Wages of War got put in there, and it said in the article why, but it kind of like bumped the whole thing back. But originally it was supposed to reflect like the cardinal points of a compass and the seasons of the year for the 4 games. And then Dragonfire came out, and it was just like
It's just like, whatever, let's be in Greece.
yeah, but it's fun to kind of like examine these from the perspective of like seasonal theming, I guess.
I would love to use all of my professional influence to like find Lorianne Cole, you know, and like sit down and I would love to write a book about this series.
Like and did you know like apparently this was super inspired by D&D. They were like big
Yeah,
D&D
yeah,
games
it's got the
back in
same
the day.
mechanics.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they seem like such interesting people, and I think haven't they kickstarted something like in recent years?
They
I'm
may
not-
have. A couple of fans were saying that, and chat. A couple of schmoes were saying that there
Yeah.
was like a new one. What's it called? I feel like was it Cyric?
Heroes
Are you Cyric?
Academy or-
Heroes Academy. I feel like we have one major QFG fan in here, and also you get a knowledge drop because you drop knowledge on the audience.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, there you go. Heroes U is what it was called. Heroes U.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. I never played it, but I wanted to.
I didn't play the new King's Quest though. I haven't gotten there yet. King's
I
6 was my
start a lot of
favorite,
games.
but yeah.
Oh man, yeah. It's just like time, you know. I love the art. Like I remember when auditions were going around for that. I actually saw an audition for Graham.
Oh
And,
wow,
like,
I don't
it's
think I was here. I don't think I was in LA yet.
Oh, it was like very, very early for me. And I wrote to my agent. I was really new with them at the time. And I, like a psychopath, I wrote this letter that was like, Sierra means so much to me. And I for a while, I had the Sierra logo. This is so crazy. I got the logo that played, you know, with the fanfare before the game starts. I got that, I screenshotted it and printed it in poster size. And I'd frame it and I put it over my desk as sort of like it just always inspired me to like be a good storyteller. And you know, like whenever I was animating, I'd always kind of like look up at it and be like, they coded these games at a little office in Oakhurst. I can push forward. And
I could do
sent
it.
like a photo of my framed logo, and I sent like pictures of my collection of games.
That didn't.
And I was like, you can show
That
them
did-
what, and it was
that
just like, they wrote back and they were like, no, we're good. We just sent the MP3.
That,
They
Oh
were-
wait, so
they
we
were out.
okay. So I was just kind of curious if you recognized the amulet,
that
but
didn't do anything.
that didn't do
useful.
anything useful, so it's fine that we took it. It's fine that we took it.
He doesn't even notice.
He doesn't even notice.
That didn't.
Yeah, I have your locket.
Anna is so...
I haven't seen Anna. Do you recognize
This
this
That
locket?
didn't do anything useful.
No, you don't care.
Nothing.
You're not even wearing
This
pants.
art Art.
All right.
Or that droopy mustache and that little sad hat.
I know, right? Oh,
So
we gotta
hard.
get rations, otherwise we're gonna die.
I have to ask, do you do the lockpick thing up the nose?
You can't in this
Once
game.
It's been
Oh,
a
you
quiet
can't? That's
No.
surprising.
So we've done it every single game, and then we got to this game. So first of all, you can't because when you're in the Thieves Guild, right? You find one lockpick, and immediately the next thing you do is find the toolkit, and you just add the lockpick to the toolkit.
You
So
start
like,
toolkitting.
then you can click the toolkit on yourself,
really
and you repair your armor,
Would you find
which doesn't really
gotcha.
do anything. But so we actually reloaded to see if we could take it before we put it in the toolkit, and you clean out the wax in your ears. You don't open your nose. And I don't remember if it continues in Quest for Glory 5. I don't think you can pick your nose in 5, can you?
I don't think I ever tried it in 5. But
Oh,
this
we
was
will.
Especially in the. Oh wait, you gotta try. You gotta do that trial.
Wow, we are filthy rich.
Oh man, that brown bag. This brings back such memories, dude.
I know, right?
I like. I would, instead of going to the load, if I'd screwed something up and needed to like load an old game, I would just do the pick up the nose and die, and that would be my route back into loading.
Oh yeah,
mode.
but it doesn't work if you have a high enough lock picking skill. At some point, you open your nose.
Yeah, that's right. That's yeah. Oh man. Oh, this game, dude.
It is great. Okay, so the stream is at halftime, and we took a vote before you got here whether or not we wanted to do Q&A, or I was going to spring my regular halftime on you, which is random voice generator, and everybody wanted to hear a random voice generator. Have you seen it before? Have you seen it on the streams before?
I have not. No.
Okay, so you could see the screen, right? So let's turn some different music on here. And let me see if I can find it. So in this little game that we have, I had a program written that basically has a bunch of different attributes for making a voice.
Oh my god.
And so it randomizes everything, and then the fans give us quotes to say using that character that we build. So now let me see if there's a way I can like get it to you. If I do this, can you see it?
I can see a bunch of floppy disks, and I can see
Something that says roll all.
Oh, got it. So actually, you're mirrored on Zoom. This is kind of fun. So it's backwards.
Oh, that's odd. I wonder why.
Love it.
So like we'll roll all of them, and that's so like now we'll have to come up with a. Can you read it backwards? Are you?
Actually, I'll wait for it to pop up in Twitch, and it'll be correctly.
Yeah. Okay. So like it'll show you what's all over there. So like right now, there's a line that we have to read as a 39-year-old, low-pitched, gravelly textured, pompous Appalachian with a massive
Oh,
overbite.
actually, this is perfect. I'll just stick with this one if you don't mind.
Not a problem at all. So we keep this one, and what I'll do is I guess I can give you the quote in like Zoom chat. I'll drop it that way. All right, chat. Give me a number between 2 and 23, and we'll pick one of these random ones, and then we'll pitch the first one to Ben. Trial by fire. Get it? Get it?
Oh, nice reference.
Let's do number 10. This is actually Fondrau's is a quote that he said to the GM in a playtest he's in, and I'll give it to you over in the Zoom link here in the chat. I'll post it right there.
And tell me my attributes one more time.
Okay, so you're a 39-year-old, low-pitched, gravelly textured, pompous Appalachian accented person with a massive overbite. So you can take your time and develop. Yeah, you can take your time and develop the voice. Usually, like I'll craft it and then I'll deliver the line. You can do it in whatever order you want.
Okay, let's see. A bit of an overbite. Before I forget to ask, would it be possible that a robot ferret my character has to help record info about the layout of the city? Only on a basic visual and layout level at most.
That's
It's going to be to the GM for a play test that I'm here.
Nice. Congratulations, that's your first.
Thank you.
That's
I
your
feel
first
so
one.
initiated.
You've been initiated. All right, I'll take the next one.
Someone actually supposed to understand it. No.
No. All right, we're gonna roll.
That's a part of the
it.
deal.
Okay, so now mine is a 67-year-old, very high-pitched, scratchy hyper German,
There we go.
said with no breathing between words or sentences. Okay, so that works well with hyper. Give me another number and we'll see. Hopefully you pick, or should I just pick a long one? I'm gonna pick this one. This is number 18 from. It's from Romeo and Juliet. So it's a line. It's a whole little small speech from Romeo and Juliet. All right, you guys can't see Ben's face. Let me bring Ben back into that chat here. Thank you for letting me know.
It's okay. I didn't condition my hair, so it's probably best if I'm not seen today.
All right, I'll put Ben up on the top right there.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, so 67, very high pitched, so he's quite old.
But he's very high-pitched and scratchy. He's hyper, but he's got a German accent. And there's no breathing between sentences.
So it's basically like a very, like a tiny mad scientist, I guess, is what we're going for here.
That's mentally what I've got going on.
Okay, cool. So here's what the tiny mad scientist would sound like reading Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, serpent hard kid with flowering face, did ever a dragon keep so fair cave? Beautiful tyrant fiend, angelical dove, rats a faven, wolfish ravening ram. Despite I breathed, I f***ed up. Despite substance of divine and snow, just opposite to what thou justly seemest, a damned saint and honorable villain.
That's it. I failed though. I don't think I've ever lost this game before.
Love it.
I didn't think you could.
I would book you off of that.
Oh, thanks,
directly.
buddy. Thanks, buddy. And you just told us you were in casting, so I value that opinion. All right, I'm gonna roll one for you.
Okay.
Okay. This is weird. So it's a 14-year-old with a very low-pitched 14-year-old. So I guess puberty came early.
Second puberty.
Yeah, second
Twice.
puberty. Snarky and maniacal. With an Irish accent. And a side lisp. I regret programming this. Oh, I didn't program it. And let me see.
Boy,
Let me see. All right. We'll go with number. We'll go from have you played Chrono Cross?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so,
one of my favorite soundtracks.
So
all time.
I Chin Chen is giving you a line from Chrono Cross.
Okay.
To say, let me drop it in the Zoom chat. I have so many windows open. It's very
I know.
confusing. All right, so there's your side lispy Irish young boy, low voice, maniacal, snarky poet poem, all for you. Take your time. I wanna feel the creation of the art.
I gotta work on the side.
Sideless, with an Irish accent with a sideless. It was a little bit hard to do.
It's I got to think of gangster in New York. With the most consistent Irish accent ever committed to cinema. Insanity leads to chaos, then to solitude. The fruitless efforts of adding meaning to what is meaningless, alone crimson fair. He falls to the sea, the echo of the remaining star. What he can do is send me distant prayers over the wings of time, setting sail on dreams.
That's great.
I don't know.
Setting sail in my dreams.
Now I could just imagine Time Scar playing under that.
I would totally play it if I wouldn't get copyright hit, and that would be, I'm sure, yeah. Maybe one of my editors can do it for you, and you could tweet it, because nobody cares about copyright on Twitter.
Actually, I did a what the 1975 songs are the Blue Lions, and I got my first DCMA strike from that.
Nice.
And it was 5-second clips from each of the 1975 songs. I was like,
on YouTube?
Golden. No, on Twitter.
On Twitter? I better be careful.
I was shocked.
I better be careful. All right, let's see what mine is here. So we got a 70-year-old, very high-pitched, muddy, gentle Cockney who's drowning.
Oh dear.
I have to take drowning out of here because it's such a miserable It's a miserable quirk to put on her voice.
It really is.
So
He's got an old, very high-pitched, muddy texture, but he's got a Cockney accent, and he's not doing well. He doesn't ever really know how to swim, so it's all quite. Oh God!
I sound like Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life after a bender. You know, like.
You sound like a very wasted Rocco.
Very wasted Rocco, which is not Cockney at all, but.
It's a wonderful, dangerous day.
That was a hoot!
Okay, which one of these?
It's a very nice stream today. I love it.
All right. I'm gonna do this Zoolander line from Mira Mira. From Mira Mira. Okay, so
All the way up here is
he doesn't have a side list though. He's
Cockney. He's Cockney. What was his temperament? He was muddy, but gentle. So he's probably an old man.
or it's either like Rocco or you sound like a tauntaun. All right.
I think if there's anything that this horrible tragedy can teach us, it's that a male model's life is a precious, precious commodity. Just because we have chiseled abs and stunning features, it doesn't mean that we cannot not die in a freak gasoline fight accident.
I wasn't drowning, but I'm tired of the drowning one.
You could put a filter over that for drowning.
I could have put a filter. Can I make anything bubbly here? The hard tune is kind of a that's not really. Can I? Let's see. That's not very drowny. Ooh.
That's at the depths of the ocean.
Yeah, that's Quest for Glory 5 material.
That's right.
All right, you want to do one more?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do one more each, and then I'll give away some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a 24-year-old, low-pitched, gravelly, boisterous Texan, and you're inside a very small container. That's it. The small container one is one of my favorites.
You're gonna hear how little I can differentiate between a Texas accent and an Appalachian accent.
That's okay. We'll catch it in the rest of it. Let's see, which one do I want to give you? I'm gonna pick. I don't want. Let's see.
Yeah.
How about? I don't know what this is. It's from Sakura Dreamers. It doesn't have an attribution, but it's very, very a strange quote, and I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I have no idea what it's from.
Let's see here. Okay. So to do this, I'm gonna have to get myself into a small container. So physicality is everything in performance. Guys.
Method!
Let's just get a small container. Okay.
I'll take things I never thought I'd see on my stream for $500, Alex.
Okay.
Listen here, you garbage waffle blogger nugget. I want those sweet stably. Shooter, booties on the double on my dearest. For you two diamond booties going out the door's floor.
Well done.
Die.
That was well
Thank
done.
you.
Really committed to it. And it was very like Yosemite Sam, so I think it kind of fit.
Yeah.
You garbage waffle blogger nugget. Did Ben become a cursed
I'm
image? Yeah. All right, we'll do one more here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a 18-year-old, very low, angry Scotsman. Who's,
Oh, good.
I don't know how to do like sibilants with the Scottish, so it just sounds. It's kind of like more of a front lisp, but get a like real tough. But he's also he's got a Scottish accent, so he's like a Scottish Valley girl almost. I don't know if he's going to do that. I don't know how like a Scotsman would have sibilants in his voice. All right, you guys give me a number for this one. Give me a number, I don't know, whatever number as I said before, just drop one in chat.
Scottish Valley girl. That's what he's like. He's just twirling his hair a little bit.
Is this a Scottish San Fernando Valley girl or someone from the Highlands in Scotland?
We'll go with the Highlands. All right, number 9 comes from Dr. Frankenstein, I guess.
Oh,
well, it just says Dr. Frankenstein probably. This is from Dice 14. Okay, so he's 18, but he's very low pitch and he's angry, and he's angry and timid, so he's just put a lid on it. He's so angry, but he doesn't know what to do with it because he's not strong enough to really confront people. With his Scottish accent, he's a little bit sibilant. That might be why he's so timid, to be quite honest with you. Wait, what do you mean it doesn't work that way? You're telling me I'm not allowed in the bodybuilding contest? You're frauds. You're all frauds. Dice, what is that from? What are you giving me over here? Oh my God.
I was moved.
I was moved by that. Oh, I have to give it. We do giveaways. Where's my mask? Oh shit. Getting old, Ben. I'm gonna tear a rotator cuff trying to turn around on my chair. Okay, guys.
Beautiful.
We're giving away a golden deer mask today.
Nice.
So, mods, let's cue that up, and we'll give away a golden deer mask. And me and Ben are just gonna geek out. We're gonna ignore it.
Fear the deer. Don't fear the coronavirus.
Don't fear the coronavirus. Fear the deer. Come on, camera. Do your job. Here we go.
Yes.
And the word to type in chat is Doomsday.
And what a Doomsday it was.
And what a Doomsday it was.
Indeed.
I'll switch up the sound here.
So you said this was your first Quest for Glory game, right? Number 4?
No, I think it was 1, because I'm pretty sure if I walk back over there, now you're gonna make me do it again, because I think I may have the floppy disks. I have to go see, because the drawer where the discs is right here.
Did you play them sequentially? Like, once you played 1, you were like, I've got to play 2. Hey, everybody. Did anybody celebrate the dude's birthday, by the way? I really hope you guys did. Because if a man deserves to be celebrated, I think it's Dudu. I posted a cake, actually, on Twitter yesterday that had the ellipses in quotation marks. So if you guys have ever done a bit cake where you go to like your grocery store's bakery department and have them put like a funny frosted message.
I didn't find
it. Can I get 3 dots and quotes? And the lady at the counter was like, what are you talking about? Did you see the cake, Joe? The Dude birthday cake I put on Twitter?
No, I didn't see it.
He has a lot of pausing in the game, so I asked for an ellipse with quotation marks around it, and the lady who was working at the counter was like, "You want what?" I was like, 3 dots with quotes, and I had to draw it for her, and I felt so bad.
I think it would have been funny if you had asked for an ellipse and she drew a pair of lips on the cake.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Because I've seen some real cake fails in my time, and that would have been great. I didn't find Quest for Glory, but I did find a Sierra game. And which is, I guess, see-through. So we got the Hoyle book of games, which is basically like the casino games, right? We could play Yahtzee,
yeah.
and then a disc that you are probably not supposed to erase because it says Joe's other disc, do not erase. It may have had Quest for Glory on it at one point, but
those floppies.
The floppies. I saved a bunch of floppies. I don't know why. And then I bought a USB floppy drive.
Yes, I have a whole that old school clamshell floppy container.
Oh yeah.
I can't bring myself to get rid of it. I just can't do it.
I got rid of some of them, but what I was originally going to do is I was going to take the floppy disks and make like a piece of art out of it, like stick them, like make a picture frame, right, and just make a collage of a bunch of floppy disks. But a lot of them are just like rando floppy disks that aren't as cool as the Sierra one, so I don't know if I could do the whole thing.
Yeah, I've still seen them for sale at like Rite Aid. Like if you go to the section that has like the writable CDs, and every once in a while you'll still find a shrink wrap thing of floppy disks like on the bottom shelf. I think that's really weird.
Like, what possible use would anybody have for more floppy disks? I could see like a reader to get access to old file, but like who's gonna put anything on a floppy disk?
Exactly. It's really strange. Like I've seen it as much as I have in Los Angeles. And I have a friend. Every time we spot one, we'll take a photo and send it to each other.
Wow.
Like they still exist.
Like maybe if you were like if you had an old 486 machine, and you were like, man, I need a floppy disk so I could take something from the internet. Like I could take a boot file for Windows 3.1 and put it on that system. Maybe. That's the only thing I could think of. Ben, what are we doing here today? So this is day 2. We've gone to the monastery. We've pretty much visited everybody in town. I think, is Igor still there? No, he's not. He's not in dire straits yet. We don't have the rehydration solution. What do you want to do?
Have you been to the cemetery?
Yeah, we just went there. We've gone down to the crypt, but we're not ready to go to the castle yet. That's like a, you know.
If you want to get buck wild, every time I play Shadows of Darkness, I always go through that castle way earlier than I'm supposed to. Like one of the first things I do, punch in that BOR. What is it?
It's
blue,
orange. Yeah.
Yeah, the Borgov, and I just comb the halls and I get destroyed. But as it stands as a thief, it is far too early for this. And have we talked to the lady in the lake yet?
The Rusalka? No, we have not. We can go talk to her.
Yeah.
That's risque.
Very risque. Actually, when she transforms, spoiler alert, I literally have to brace myself because she's so frightening.
It is very frightening.
The art is really so scary. It really makes me jump in my seat whenever I do the paladin version of this and do the quest.
But you can do it. I think we can. Can we do the quest not being a paladin? Because I would love to.
The first time I played through all of these, I had an old country buffet approach where I was like, I want to literally do everything in one playthrough. So I did the thief hybrid, and I somehow became a paladin in 2. So I was able to steal from everybody, do all the wizard stuff, and do all the paladin quests in all the games. Yeah, and there's a few moments that you forego, but I think you have to be a paladin in this to do
We'll try because I enjoyed this side quest. Naked lady in the lake.
Oh, goodness. Is this a Leisure Suit Larry game?
Oh my god.
I need someone to help warn me.
What is this? What is that? Like
those VGA loops. Oh my god.
The VGA loops are my favorite. I think my favorite loop was actually in Quest for Glory 1 when oh my god, what's his name? What's the guy from Shapir who came in on the carpet and then lost the carpet?
Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. He's with the cat, right?
Yeah, yeah. Is it Abu or Ali or oh crap. Regardless, but when he's sleeping on the table, right? When he's sleeping on the table in the Kata's tail in, and you sit down, he's like. That's how he yawns. He gets up and does this.
And whenever you talk to him and ask him
Abdullah
about stuff,
Do. That's it. Abdullah Do.
Thank you. And whenever you ask him anything, it's the same over and over again.
Yeah, it's just over and over again. All right,
he's just despairing.
This is my favorite part of this little side quest. When you're a thief, how you can make the thief sign. This is my favorite. Let's do it.
It's worth playing as the thief every time.
Intently at the lake woman, you sensuously waggle the fingers of your right hand beside your nose. Then you delicately
you find me, you never see it animated in 1 through 4, but in 5, do they actually, because it's a 3D model, do they actually?
Rusalka says, "Oh, yes, that's what I want too. Come to me.
I think he does. I think he's
bellies together forever."
Yeah, and it's very like
so
polygon,
here in the lake.
early polygon
Please,
style.
Come and
rub your belly with your left hand.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. I'm gonna use this lady to stroke my ego and.
Surely a hero like you will help someone like me. Please, take my hand.
So now the Rusalka is a legitimate Slavic myth, as many myths in Quest for Glory. Yeah.
Very good at like actually honoring like real myths and legends from whatever sort of area they've localized.
And many of them are really accurate. They're not even like, most of the time when the West takes a myth, they just bastardize it and do something weird with it. But like the Rusalka that's something that drowns men in lakes.
Yeah.
So let's drown ourselves.
Yep. All for a sweet embrace.
All for a sweet embrace.
Worth it?
Is it worth it?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Having skip thoughts.
Take her in your arms. Her skin is soft but very cold.
But very cold. I wonder why.
The lake spirit moans softly as she holds you closer and closer and tighter, then pulls you down into the lake.
It wasn't worth it! This wasn't a mistake!
You quickly discover that you really don't know how to breathe underwater.
Have we, sorry, I'm remembering everything. It's coming to me in bits and pieces. Have we found the Thieves Guild yet?
Yeah,
In the
we
Heroes
actually
Guild?
completed the Thieves Guild quest, which, you know, we turn him back into a human.
If you take my hand,
Kafka-esque.
Yeah.
if you take my arms, I'll be happy to talk to you about anything you'd like.
You ask what a nice
What's a nice
like
girl
that
take you
is
doing in a lake like this?
It's
So
a
smooth.
rush here in the water.
So
This is
smooth.
one of the smoothest heroes in gaming history.
Super smooth.
I love, also, when you say hello, like, you can always say hello and goodbye no matter the context.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. In addition to always doing the thief sign, no matter what's going on, always say hello and goodbye. And I think it's in Wages of War. There's a moment like before you go into the temple,
Please.
you're talking to the girl who's with you, and you're like, say hello, and she goes, you know, you pick the oddest times to say hello and
Yes,
goodbye.
I remember that. Like, that's
Oh,
really
right.
strange what you've just done.
I'm doing that right now, yeah.
So, I don't remember, as a paladin, when you're doing the Rusalka quest, how do you trigger it? I want to see if we could trigger it.
I think
It has something to do, why do I like,
the sword that's in Arana's piece in the town. I think you have to talk to the sheriff about that sword and get the legend, maybe, and then it sort of prompts like the sub quest you have to do, maybe. I really think that might only be if you're already a paladin or if you're a fighter. I still to this day don't know how I became a paladin on my playthrough on 2 as a thief, because normally it shuts that off, and if you do any thieving, you can't.
I remember doing it once, and it's all because it's not necessarily about like the amount of honor you accumulate. It's like there are like 4 or 5 or 6 tasks that you have to complete. I remember looking it up.
There's always a checklist that you have to get through.
And if you do it, you'll become a paladin no matter how many people you've murdered or stolen from.
Right.
Well, that's too bad. The Rusalka's a cool side quest. So, oh no,
Yeah,
Bunny!
yeah.
I hate
Now,
fighting
how
a
do you
bunny
feel about-
because all the magic goes over its head.
How do you feel about combat in these games, Joe? Like that was always my least favorite part of Quest for Glory.
What is? Oh, that's why. Okay. Excuse me. I gotta slaughter a bunny.
Okay, never go. Okay. Dun, dun, dun.
Combat was clunky, but it was,
Absolutely.
and most of the time, especially as like a thief, you're not gonna get into it. What I really hated about the combat system was that in order to raise certain stats, you needed to fight over and over and over again. So like if you wanted a dodge skill, you had to get in combat and then just sit there forever. Grinding could be really annoying. Oh, hi, Lishi. Oh, we gotta go get let's go get the bush stuck in goo. That was all the way at the beginning.
That's another thing I love about doing the all-in method of like to get that bush. It's like, well, you can use your stealth to like sneak up the goo without it slipping. You can use your fetch to go get it. And it's like there's like 8 ways to solve everything in these games.
Yeah.
Which I always really appreciated.
It's like real life.
Yeah, exactly.
But not
This
as
was
fun.
Not a lot more death.
A lot more death.
Second and third and fourth chances.
Damn,
I always
Bunny.
love like, oh man, they're everywhere.
You can't shoot it with magic because it's too short.
That's,
Zap it. Come on.
oh no, is this how it ends?
No, I
Is
got
this
it.
how the
It's all good. It's
story-
all good. I don't know that I would flex into like looking at after I slaughtered a bunny. I wouldn't be like, yeah.
I've noticed that no one's around when he does that. And I always want someone within. If he's in somebody's eye line, if he would be more like, yeah, that's no problem.
Or someone come by and be like, have you seen my rabbit?
It ate some cherries and got some red on its face.
Yes, it was. Oh, is this? We're at Baba Yaga. Let's save that. Although
Also,
you know
can I
what?
just-
No, we're here. While we're here.
Let's have a fun death with Baba Yaga. Like, I love too the amount of continuity in this series. Like,
It's so great.
they're so good at honoring stuff that happened in previous games. They're also really good at seeding stuff that's going to happen. Like in the second game when you're in Wit, you know, and like you can see all the portraits of every magician that you've encountered so far, and they like actually they foreshadow magicians you're gonna meet in Shadows. It's just like it's that great like narrative crafting that just like they didn't need to do it for a game like this, but you can just tell that they went the extra mile and like actually
they cared.
Honoring
cool. So I could tell the bush to grow and prosper. But I don't have the password yet. I know there's a password to get through the bush. I don't have it yet.
The bush eat you if you get too close?
That's a different. There's another bush.
Okay.
There's two dangerous magical bushes. I have to go back and find dark ones. If it's a bunny, I swear to God. All right, bunny. Let's cast Zap. Come on, I'm coming. Close.
How much strength do you think you're gaining from each of these bunny encounters?
0, because my strength is maxed.
Oh, that's right, you maxed it.
Yeah, I hacked it. But for some reason couldn't... Say what?
Oh, has it broken the game, hacking it like that?
No, it's like it wouldn't let me do some things. Like I was only able to get strength, weapon use. Well, weapon use is what I spent my points on. And then there's a trick to get your acrobatics all the way to 400 too. The rest of it I just left at 300. I don't want to be greedy.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Was it here? No. Oh, this is the bush that will kill you.
That's it. I had the animation in my head. I was like, what? Where is that thing?
It hits you, yeah. Poisons you too.
It's probably just an ordinary, everyday bush with blood red.
You know, I always wanted to take the background art from these games and like get it framed, like some of my favorite set pieces, because there's something too about the hand painted style of this, but then run through that kind of VGA filter.
It's super cool.
It's just so gorgeous. Like, it is. And it's all completely rooted in nostalgia, but like
I can guarantee you there's someone, if you tweet that, someone will be like, oh, I do that every day.
Totally.
I think we just are incredibly aggressive with the bush, right? We just
I think you can zap it, right? Yeah. And eventually
you managed to knock a branch.
It'll peel back.
Will it leave?
I think the tentacles maybe shrivel into it if you give it enough damage.
Let's
clears the path.
Let's use some fire.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to have...
Oh. Now I wanted to have a burning bush experience, but I guess not. Well, that one works.
There it is. Force bolt it.
Yeah. I got a feeling this isn't actually doing anything. It's just making the bush jiggle. All right, I'll save, and then we'll probably just go take the damage. Although it poisons you too. Naked Lake Lady. Let's go back to Buck Gang Refresh. We'll sneak up on it. Ow!
You strip the berries from the loose branch and carefully... That hurt. That really hurt. Think of being stung by a...
Did you ever feel for these characters too? Like, I'd go through like phases where I didn't know what to do, so I'd get kind of kill happy. But then when I got back on track, I'd be like, oh no, I hurt my character.
Yeah.
It's just like, it just speaks to like how, for as simple of games as these are now, like in retrospect, how completely engrossing they were.
I remember killing myself by throwing rocks at myself.
Yeah.
And like the death scream was just like, you always hurt the ones you love. That's
right. Sierra was very, very happy to give you a wink and a nod and an unfair check.
Bunny?
Yeah, so playing as the thief, like these encounters were always, aside from the bunny, anything at night was just like a nightmare, you know?
Yeah. I wonder if now that I have all my stats hyped up, if it'll be easier, but I do remember having a really tough time with combat in this game. Quest for Glory 3's combat was miserable. I hated Quest for Glory 3's combat.
It was so broken. Like Quest for Glory 3, I think has one of the coolest setups of any of these, but then...
I agree, but the execution was not good.
Yeah. You get about like 40% of the way through 3, and it feels like they had to like rush to meet deadline, because that game just like zips to the ending, and it gets really buggy along the way. It bumps me out because it's the art in that one is like,
it's really
some of my
cool.
favorite.
All right, I think I can use my grappling hook on the gooey bush. Let's grab some. Doesn't work, or it does? Boom! It exploded. I don't think that's physically what would happen there, but
the stones
physics.
Are the bush now, but you still don't have a good angle on it.
Oh, I guess do I have to go up there and then climb down? I think I do.
Oh yeah, how's your climbing?
Oh, I'm
Or
all
is it
good.
acro-
I'm all good.
You can't.
I think it'll just let me.
The path is incredibly
Oh,
slippery.
you can also. You're probably gonna. You could try push or force bolt on the column.
Oh, that's true. I know I can knock it down.
And I think you can climb that.
Where's Force Bolt? It's not letting me cast it. That's odd. That's a little glitchy there.
Yeah.
How about
This is not.
grappling hook?
There. it
That
is.
makes me so mad, because you could just walk right up to it. Like you're half an inch away, and it makes you do this.
Come on, Sierra.
Yes. You've
Also,
hooked
like,
everyone. You
It's so
carefully haul
the
in
rope
the bonfire.
is just one of the classic adventure game. Like, I don't think there is an adventure game where at some point you don't pick up a piece of rope.
All
There's
right.
there's a couple of like standbys. It's like flint, rope, rocks.
All right, now we're there. I do need to collect some goo. I don't remember how much goo you need, so I'll grab a couple flask worth.
You slowly fill your flask.
Bone
with
meal too,
greasy,
right?
Grimy.
Yeah, but the bone
You
meal.
slowly fill your.
I don't remember where it comes from. How many flasks do I have? I have 5 flasks. I don't think I need more than 2.
Yeah, I think you're safe with 2. And then I think you need a flask of the dark water that you trudge through.
Really? Let's see if we can't collect that.
Yeah.
You don't really need
No,
any
never mind.
swamp muck.
We don't really need any swamp muck. All right, so we can bring the bush back to the leashy.
And see what he has to say. Leashy, leashy.
So whimsical.
It is. Who I believe is all the way north and then a little bit east.
Oh, you're good at. I get so turned around on these Sierra maps. The old ones where they used to loop too, so like you get to the end
Oh,
of one,
God.
and it would just.
It's a bunny, isn't it? All right, bunny.
What is it? Easter?
I know, right?
Everywhere.
Yeah, I totally got that bunny.
There's no problem, man.
Innocent, well, maybe not exactly. Little bunny has been viciously slaughtered and now looks like a roadkill. There is absolutely nothing in the little
It's such a good
rabbit's
sense of
pack.
humor
It's
too.
so great.
Well, maybe a pocket
This series
watch,
always
but
like
you don't
struck
need
just
one.
the right balance. Like sometimes King's Quest would get a little like too goofy.
It was a little goofy, especially like the earlier King's Quests.
Yeah,
Did
well,
you
it
ever
was
play-
so.
What was the one that was very not King's Quest? Mask of Eternity?
Yeah, I actually, my family, we had like a Windows 3.1 computer for so long.
Yeah.
We never did like Windows 95. And I remember one Christmas, I like demanded, I was like, we have to get a machine that has Windows 98 on it because I have to play Mask of Eternity. Like it's a new King's Quest. 7 I couldn't hang with, and the series just meant so much to me. And I literally my family used, it was like credit card points or something to get a Comp USA PC.
Oh my god.
The loudest tower I've ever experienced. A hard drive that sounded like a snare drum. And that thing, like it could run Mask of Eternity, but not well. And it was like the lag and the frame rate was a disaster. And I remember being bummed because it was just this, it was an action game. It was like the Quake engine or something. Like it really made me quite sad. And it didn't honor the continuity. And I'm such a continuity freak. That's like one of my like core things in life.
It was
I
a
love
weird
when-
game. Like I don't remember. I remember it being really strange because they were trying to make it so like very 3D, but like the character was always looking like a rag doll.
Yeah.
The guy who voiced Connor sounded like, oh my god, oh, I'm here to rescue you. It was really strange.
It sounded like your voice generator, Corey. It was like super nasal, kind of British.
Yeah,
like it was just,
It was weird. It was almost like he was making fun of himself. It was a
yeah, he's
strange
not
game.
doing a- Totally, and it was like weird too. Like Daventry just didn't feel like Daventry because obviously they didn't care. They weren't gonna like try to like map it after the original games. But as a result, it just felt like this sort of generic, sort of like 3D fantasy world that just had like a King's Quest skin on it. I think there's one framed portrait of Graham in the castle.
Yes.
That might be the art from like it might be his avatar art from like King's Quest 5 or 6.
I just remember being
And I remember-
impossible to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do in the game.
Yes, it was really hard to navigate, and there were all those different dimensions you had to go to, and it was just the combat was really repetitive. It was a bummer, and it was that time when I think Sierra got bought by it was an acronym. I can't remember what the acronym for the company was, but like you could really sense a shift. They really started moving away from story during that time and really went to like, oh, we need it. Like, what's the trend? It's like, you know, PlayStation 1 hack and slash. You know, like.
Oh, we got the bush. We got the bush in the go. I was really confused here for a second.
I love the bug that pops out of his forehead.
Is it a bug or a bird? I thought it was a bird, but I think you're probably right. Plant the bush where it will grow. Where do we plant the bush?
Oh, I actually don't remember.
I don't remember planting the bush.
Neither.
Where else? I mean, there's no, like, Irana doesn't have, there's no Irana's piece here, right? It's just Irana's staff.
Yeah. I wonder...
Or wait, is there... No. Irana has a garden.
She has a garden in the town, but it's that mound of flowers.
No. Because where do you get the frost... Not the frost spell. There's a spell that you can get, because there's... Oh, I'm trying to figure it out. No, Irana has a garden somewhere in here.
And I think, really? Okay.
And I think the entrance is from the south. Okay. So, but I can't remember exactly where it is. No, this is the town. I think it's over here.
You gotta scoop yourself up south into that town.
Into that danger noodle.
Wyvern. At least you can zap this guy.
Yeah. Ow.
This was like, this combat system really lent itself to like, Quest for Glory grows up. Like, check out this art. And it's so much prettier than 3's combat system, which is just such a nightmare. It's like this comic book style. You can tell it's like with the screenshots.
It's in the middle. I can't remember where Irana's garden is. It might be like you have to come around and up.
Yeah. Do you have to unlock it? Oh wait, what about the bush with the eyes? Do we have to get through that to get to it?
No, that one doesn't go away. I'm almost positive that it's a north entrance. This might be it.
Okay.
Here we are.
You have such good memory.
Here we go.
I barely remember this.
Stream flows gently.
You're right, and if you do trigger, I think it'll. Is that how you get the frost spell, or like you have to move a rock?
I'm sure trigger spells always work in these areas. So let's take a look. Is that trigger? That's detect magic. Where's trigger? Trigger. Oh, we have to trigger specific things. Let's light the lanterns.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there a third lantern?
I would think so.
Okay, but we can plant the bush over here.
Yes, that's right.
Plant the bonsai in the hole and scrape some of the rich soil around it.
Do you remember at the end of these games when you get your point count, and it would also be like, oh, you missed 2 points,
and you have no idea what it is. Flowers, and then food.
As you approach the tree,
oh no!
Flowers to
You have to fetch the fruit. You can't just grab it. Irana was a mage. Let's try it again. I know you can fetch the fruit.
That's right. Her elf tricks.
I don't remember what you use it for, but grab that fruit.
Your magical lasso floats towards the tree and plucks a
Does it heal the fruit in this one?
It might. I don't remember if it's a quest item. I'll.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
It could be a mage quest item. I'll eat it though.
Also,
just to see it.
Does her? Can you bottle her water? Does that get you anything?
Releases itself into your system.
Oh, it's a mana potion. It's the game's mana potion. Because you can't buy it from Dr. Cranium because he hates.
You have to give me ingredients, right?
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't remember it being an ingredient for anything else. Okay, let's detect magic and see what's around. Because I think it gives you a little.
A soft magical aura permeates the entire garden.
Oh, and there's a little magic in the pool there. Let's trigger the pool.
Yeah.
I think it just does a good fountain jet or something like that. Oh, it almost looks like a spore-spitting Spiria seed. Can I fetch it?
That's right.
The tulip is closed.
Okay, so I gotta open it first. Let's.
Yeah.
Where's open? I have open, right? I have the paladin ability to heal. Why?
You hacked this game so thoroughly.
But like,
You gave
it's
yourself
kind of
a
broken.
beginning
I don't
and
have
a
open.
You don't have open?
I don't have
Oh
open.
my god. Use your lockpick.
I can't lockpick a tulip. Can I trigger it? No. Oh, I broke it. I broke it. I can't get the frostbite spell. Or is it glide? I don't remember.
Wait. Can you? What if you bring the flower out of the water, then you light the lanterns?
I'm pretty. Why don't I have the open spell? Is the question.
I'm 90% sure you have to cast open. I'm grasping at straws right now, but.
No, my spells are vanishing as I click in the menu.
Oh, no.
What happened?
Stop scrolling, bud.
Stop
You're
it.
losing them.
Fetch. No. Forceful. Paladin heal? Come on, Zieja.
Oh man.
Oh well. All right. So we can't.
Heartbreaker.
It's a heartbreaker. But we found Arana's garden.
Before you go, can you bottle the water? I can't
Oh.
remember if you need that or something.
Let's find out. It always seems like we need water from Arana's.
Yeah.
You fill your flask to the top with fresh, sparkling water.
Ooh, sparkling water.
Dom Perrier.
I wonder what flavor it is.
Okay, so Arana's garden was kind of a wash. Although we did get some flowers and some fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a mage in this game is hard because there's no way to refill your mana except you get like 1 fruit a day from that tree. So
They
we're good there.
probably. I remember it was being a mage in the other games is a little broken. I wonder if this was their attempt to combat that.
Like too powerful.
Or I guess it forces you to see Dr. Cranium too.
Okay.
The bush.
I don't know who voiced the Lishi.
I kind of want to find out. Hang on. IMDb, don't fail me now.
Hi there.
Hi, Lishi, give me your next riddle.
Well, you're very small.
3 and 3 and 3 make 9. Who lives among the watery brine?
Oh, that's easy.
Bill Farmer.
Fishy,
Dude, Bill Farmer is Lishi? That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I forget, this was the one where they really started getting like voice actors to do all the parts.
Jim Cummings is in it. Jeff Bennett's in it.
Crazy. Because remember they used to like, they'd spend all their money on the narrator and then they would like have the developers and the staff at Sierra like voice the rest of them.
Interesting.
So it was always like the townsfolk were always terrible, but the narrator was like this, you know, professional orator. But yeah, they really actually went all out on this.
Okay,
This is a
now we
good-
have the words we can say to the bush, which I think is bushes disappear or something. No, we're gonna run away, run away. Ah.
Oh, no! Oh, you got blinded strength.
Necrotor. Eat this fire. And oh my god.
This music, though. Great workout track.
Yeah.
I want us to cover the main theme to this game, which is one of the greatest guitar solos of all time.
So many times, like, I've really wanted to do a whole album of remixes for the Quest for Glory series because there's so much fun music. But it's one of the things on my like bucket list. All right, we can go visit Baba Yaga. We only have like 5 minutes left. Do you guys want to keep playing, or do you want to ask Ben a bunch of questions because Ben hasn't been on our stream? Light Silver Star is obviously a Quest for Glory fan. I will save here. Are you watching chat, Ben? Or should I read questions if they come in?
I'll
Yeah,
let you.
a bunch of people want to ask questions. So, all right, that's what we'll do. We'll go over to. We'll take a pause here. All right, drop them in chat. We don't have to collect them or anything. We don't have time. So if you have questions for Ben or I.
Oh, real quick, I see somebody asking about Stick Knots merch. Are you familiar with Stick Knots, Joe?
I was there, not at its inception, but closely thereafter while we were all hanging out.
Give me 2 shakes of a vampire rabbit's tail.
Oh, wow.
I do have some Stick Knots plushes if people are interested.
What does that even mean? Oh,
this is a blue lion variant.
Wow.
This is a Stick Knots plush. These have been mailed out all across the country. We have an Edelgard variant.
Okay.
We've got ourselves an Ashen Wolves. This is actually very rare. I don't think I've given out the Ashen Wolves variant yet for Stick Knots. And we've got ourselves a Church of Saros aligned Stick Knots.
Wow.
I am more than happy to mail these wherever people want them. I don't know if your mods could help coordinate that. But if people want Stick Knots plushes, I got them in spades.
Wow.
And I'm happy to share them with the community.
Wow. I'm looking for questions. You guys, like 20 of you were like, let us ask questions. I don't see a single question in the chat.
Don't be shy. I know the hair is intimidating. But trust me.
I see one that says, how threatened do you feel by the newfound acting talents of Dr. Sticknuts from this past weekend?
I feel very, very threatened. You guys know Greg Chun is the voice of Sticknuts officially.
Really?
I believe he was in Brunch with the Bard, and I think Christian did an okay job covering for Greg, but Greg will always, in my mind, be the voice of Sticknuts.
Then who would you have liked to voice in Three Houses except the Duke? Who else would you have liked to voice?
Hubert. Definitely Hubert.
Oh, yeah, you would have been a good Hubert. That'd be cool. For me, it was Dimitri.
Yeah,
I would have really liked to voice Dimitri.
Yeah, Dimitri's you really see him get put through his paces, and I think that would have been such a fun journey to go on as an actor.
See, I don't have the journey. Like, I knew that was the journey he was going on, but I have not experienced it yet because I haven't touched Blue Lions. But
oh, gotcha. Yeah. I think I'm just about done. Once like quarantine started, we got a Switch and picked the game up, and it was actually kind of fun when I bought the game from a Best Buy, and the clerk was like, this game is so much fun. I'm like, oh, I got some news for you. I am the voice of Dedue. And he had a Blue Lions patch.
Ooh.
Like in his pocket. It was such a fun moment. And this was literally right before the stay-at-home order went in. So I think we kind of slowed down because we got some other games, but I'm in the final phase of the Blue Lion route. And I've really enjoyed it.
Cool. What hobbies are you into lately? Asks Smocky Rose.
I've been playing more games. I've had a little bit more time just with everything that's going on in 2020. So I've been doing a lot of Switch games. I've been playing a lot of Slay the Spire. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that game. It's a deck building game. It's a really accessible deck building game. I've been playing that quite a bit. I'm trying to start playing music again semi-regularly. It's challenging. I haven't touched my stuff in a long time, and I keep having these urges to, I want to do something new, like buy a mandolin and learn how to play it, but I want to get back into piano and start doing covers again.
Yeah, dude, we should do music together.
I'd love
you can
that.
come over. Did you know mandolin, and you don't own one, or?
No, it's always been on my bucket list to learn it. I play trumpet, and I haven't been keeping up on it, so my range is shot right now. But and then piano and guitar.
Dude, all my chops are shot. Like if I sit, I can play sax for 45 minutes, and I'm like,
it's hard.
It's awful.
Anything with wind and an embouchure, if you're not doing it every day, you lose it so quickly.
This is the thing I want to put on my tombstone. This is the thing that this is my phrase. Art is a jealous lover. Because if you ignore her, she gets pissed.
Okay,
she will scorn you. So I always say that art is
it's always like, what about self-care and relaxation? And then art's like, dude.
No, practice your scales, or you'll never be able to play anything again.
Exactly.
I feel you.
I animate a little bit too. I haven't done that in a while, but I have a really fun cartoon series called Ginger Orphan Playhouse that was all made in Microsoft Paint, and I have a dear friend who we've always been writing partners, and we've started writing season 2 for it. I don't know if we're gonna get around to animating it, but it's just quarantine's weird because it gives you this feeling that you've got so much more time than you actually have, and it still goes really fast.
It still goes fast. I feel like I've been busier during quarantine than I have not in quarantine, because I'm like, oh yeah, I could put 9 more irons in the fire. Let's do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I overcommit. So, but those are some of the hobbies.
Overcommit. Let's see. How did we meet? We didn't meet until Anime Impulse. Someone asked. Orange Lena asked how you and I met. We didn't meet until Anime Impulse, I don't think. And then we went out.
Right.
We went out and ate pizza.
I think I remember maybe seeing you at like a callback or something at one point, but we didn't actually get to like sit down and talk to each other.
Yeah, maybe. Well, here's an interesting question from Zion Memoria. How do you handle disagreement with voice direction?
Ooh.
You shut up and color for the most part.
I'm very codependent, so I usually just go, yeah, that sounds good.
Whatever will
Okay.
make you happy, Mr. and Mrs. Director, sir, ma'am.
I mean, I think like it's natural to not always agree with every piece of direction you get, but I think, you know, there's a way to, you know, like with voiceover, and Joe, you can obviously speak to this. It's a post-production business, so you usually have to move pretty quickly through what you're doing. And I think there's a way, when you've done enough of it, to very quickly reconcile what the director's asking for with what you might do differently and kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, I think the easier it becomes to just sort of go through those mental gymnastics.
I
Do it on
agree.
the fly and get the version of what they're asking for. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, if I ever like disagree with the director, I may say so. I may say something if I know. Like, first of all, I'm never going to disagree with the director on pedestrian number 6. I don't care, and he doesn't care. I'm going to say the line however he wants me to say the line, and we're going to move on with
Those
our
are the ones
lives.
where I put my foot down the hardest.
Yeah.
No.
Like, he wouldn't say hello. He'd say hello. I wouldn't do that. But you know, for like bigger roles like Claude, if I ever had something that I really wanted to talk to Patrick about, he was always open. You just kind of have to read the room, you know, and then you come to an agreement.
Yeah, absolutely. It always depends director to director for sure.
Yeah. There's good and bad directors. Usually I always try to give them exactly what they ask for, and hopefully if it's bad, they hear that what they gave me was bad. If not, then oh well. I'll blame it on them later. I'll blame it on them in post. What else we got here? How did you come up, this is for you, how did you come up with your voice for the deranged fan in Agretzko?
Ooh, I feel like that's actually one of my go-tos in terms of when I like started working, you sort of like lay out what characters you think you're going to be working the most in and identify your strengths. And that sort of chilling, eerie, calm, you know, like entitled rage, but under a really cool demeanor. Like that was something that I thought I'd do a lot more of. And I think like lately I've been starting to see more of that sort of cycling through. I'm reading for more of that stuff. So I think, I don't know where it comes from. I think for that character specifically, it was just imagining somebody who's been wounded, who feels unheard, but also feels really entitled and has a lot of envy. And I just sort of tried to root it in those 4 things. And that sort of cold chill, I think that's the best way to describe it. That cold chill just kind of like naturally bubbled up from that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's a very frightening character and a very frightening set of circumstances that they cover on that show. And I really appreciate it because it's a real problem. And, you know, I think it's very brave how they tackled it on season 3. And I felt very lucky to be a part of it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. All right, we'll do one more and then we gotta go. What inspired you to get into voice acting? I don't know your origin story, so I'm curious too.
It's actually these Sierra games. I mean, that's a big reason why they're as close to my heart as they are. I really started Space Quest 4. Gary Owens is the narrator in that game, and he's hilarious. He literally, everything you do, I mean, Joe, you know the prompts in Sierra games, everything has a prompt.
They're great.
And it's literally, it's as big as like, you see a skyscraper crumbling before you to like, the door won't open. And like, he would give it in this Gary Owens booming announcer voice. And it cracked me up so much when I was a kid. And I would just sit there and mimic it over and over and over again. I watched animation, but it was like, what really made me like come to the idea of like, I could do this was Gary Owens in Space Quest 4. And from there, it was just that realization that it was like, after I was like, you know, JRPGs, once they started getting voices, but Sierra, that was the nugget that started it all. And I think it really is because Sierra games are first and foremost about storytelling. Yeah. And I think at their best, you know, they're kind of the next evolution in the step of literature and film when a game really tells a story correctly. So the idea that a performance could live in that medium is just so exciting to me that it really all started with Sierra. So I think that's why I probably framed that logo and put it on my wall.
Yeah,
way
that's
back
awesome.
then.
That's way cooler than my
Yeah.
story. I tried it on a Saturday and booked something. Like that's really like my short stories. Like, well, I guess I'll try this, and then I booked something.
I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on today. It's nice to meet a Quest for Glory geek. I don't find a lot of like Sierra Games geeks in my life, so it's cool to know that you're all into this.
Dude, thanks for having me. This was so much fun.
Yeah, we'll do it
And
again
thanks for-
sometime. Maybe when the world isn't on fire, we can come. Maybe we'll play Fire Emblem or something together.
I'd love that.
Sweet, dude.
Thank you.
I'll see you. I'll see you later. Take care. Stay safe. Well, that was fun. That was really cool to hang out with someone that's a Quest for Glory nerd. Really exciting to just nerd out. I love talking about this stuff. It was so formative for me, and it's nice to see somebody else that it was formative for. And yeah, so talking to Ben was a whole lot of time, a great time, and I'm glad to get to know him. He and I haven't spent a whole lot of time together, so this is really kind of fun. So Billy is streaming. Normally we haven't rated him yet. Normally I don't like to just keep rating other actors. Is it Billy Kometz? Oh, he's playing Fall Guys. Okay, first of all, he's not gonna notice that we come in, just so you know. Because he's gonna be all over the place. But sure, we will definitely raid him. And instead of saying Fear the Deer, let's raid him with You Are Ferdinand von Ayer. Can we raid him with that? Or Kometz? It's wrong. I get everybody's name. No, I would love to join him, but maybe not today. Yeah, let's say You Are Ferdinand von Ayer. Let's do that. And so we'll raid him. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, we get some Shadowverse. Now that I think about it, maybe it would have more appropriate to have Ben on while we were in Valdane's chapter, but that Quest for Glory is cool too. But I will be on playing and eating donuts at 9 a.m. for a couple of hours. And in the meantime, have a great night. Thanks for stopping by, and stay classy, San Diego, and all the other places.
There's room for everyone.